What is up YouTube, XeXSolutions here, and today I am bringing you a video tutorial, and this is on how to set up a music bot for your Teamspeak free server. So it's essentially a continuous music playlist, if you like, that runs in a channel of your choice on your particular server. Obviously, if you manage that Teamspeak server, then you can add your own sort of DJ, if you like. It's very common in most Teamspeak servers. Most of your friends probably have this. If you don't know how to do this, I'm going to show you exactly step by step on what to do to set this up. So in this tutorial, I will also be showing you how to set it up for VLC player, Windows Media Player, and Spotify, because I know that not everybody has Spotify, and I know not everybody has, one thing, so I just thought I'd share on how to set it up for everything. So before we get started, you're going to need to download everything. Everything is in the description below, so go ahead, make sure that you download everything. There is one thing in the description that's called Equalify Pro. Now what Equalify Pro is it's basically a equalizer which allows you to change your output devices for your sound, so you can change different channels, different audio devices and stuff like that, and it's also a equalizer, so it's a pretty cool little plugin. It is paid for. You may be able to get a cracked version out there if you look hard enough. It's very cheap. For a single user license is £5, so I bought it ages ago. It's only compatible with Windows, which is a downside, but obviously you're most likely going to be using Windows if you're watching this tutorial. So if you do want to go ahead and get that, this is going to be for Spotify. So later in the video I will show you how to set this up with Spotify, and there may be some other free sources out there. I don't know of any that are this good. Equalify Pro is a very good plugin, and again I'll show you later in the video, and you can decide if you want to get this or not. But make sure that you download everything else in the description that is completely free. Virtual audio cable, I've already set this up, but you need the drivers for virtual audio cable, so go ahead and download that in the description below. I will show you quickly the files that you need. So obviously if you're on 64-bit, then install the 64-bit wizard. If you're on a 32-bit, then go ahead and install the normal setup wizard. That will go ahead and install all of the requirements that you need in order to change your line 1 and line 2 audio to set up your music bot. So make sure that you go ahead and do this first. Install virtual audio cable, and once you've done that, we can continue with the video. Okay guys, so we are in Teamspeak free. As you can see, I'm in a local host channel. I've just set up a really quick server so I can test this in. I have XeXSolutions here, which is my client. This is me, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click on settings, identities, and we're going to add a new identity, and add a new person, if you like. So I already have music bot here, so all you want to do is click add, give it a name. So obviously I'm going to call it music bot, the nickname music bot, and that's pretty much it. You can go ahead and click OK. So now we have two identities. You have yourself, which is XeXSolutions, and you have the second client, which is obviously the bot that's going to produce the music. Once you have the identity set up, all you want to do is go over to bookmarks and manage bookmarks. Now what this will do is obviously bring up all of the bookmarks that you have for all the different servers. Now if you have the main server that you host or the main server that you manage in there, you can go ahead and right click on it and duplicate it. If not, then you can just click add bookmark, and we can just call it whatever we want. I'm just going to call it YouTube for this purpose, and the address name is going to be localhost, because obviously I'm locally hosting this right now for the YouTube purpose. I'm also going to call this music bot so we know what it is. And over here on the right hand side, now this is important, so make sure you do this. So over here on the right hand side, we're going to choose identity, and we're going to change it to the new client that we made earlier, which is called music bot. Once we've done that, we're going to go ahead and do it for capture profile and playback profile. Make sure that you click apply and then OK. Now what we can do is click on bookmarks once again, and you'll see YouTube in the list. Now we're not going to click this because we'll go in by ourselves on our normal client, but what we're actually going to do is right click this and connect in a new tab. So as you can see, we're both in here, but it's obviously not set up correctly just yet. We're going to need some music, and we're going to need to adjust the settings on the actual music bot identity. So on music bot, go into settings and then options. Once you have the options window up, you will see that we have some settings that are changed. So what you're going to want to do is obviously click the plus button down here and call this music bot or whatever you want to do. Click default settings, and then basically just copy the settings that I have in here. So you want to adjust the voice volume so it's dead quiet. Same goes for the sound pack volume, because otherwise when the people that join your channel, you will hear the guy or the woman's voice of that, and it will just basically mess things up. So make sure that you have voice volume adjustment and sound pack volume down to the quietest level. I'm going with mono to stereo as it sounds perfectly fine, and one major option here is change this to line 1 virtual audio cable. Make sure you do that. This is required. Once you have line 1 selected, make sure you click apply but not OK, because we're going to go in capture, and same applies for this. Make a new profile, I've called it music bot here. Capture device, we're going to change this to line 1, and I'm going to change it to voice activation detection and make sure it's at the lowest once again. You can copy or change the settings depending on your server. I've left them like this. This works perfectly fine for me, but obviously it's personal preference. Make sure you hit apply and OK once again, and that is pretty much the music bot settings set up. So first of all, I'm going to show you Spotify, and then I'll move on to the next one. So Spotify is obviously not compulsory. I know Spotify is paid. You can use the free version, but there are ads, so that sucks. I do have Spotify Premium, and I do like to use this a lot, so that's why I purchased a Qualify Pro. Now this is what it looks like. You can change and turn on the analyzers and all the bars and all that good stuff. All I like to do really is go into settings, device, and then change the audio device to line 1. This will basically make sure that your music bot is picking up all of the music from Spotify and will play it back to the Teamspeak server. So obviously if you weren't in the Teamspeak server, then you won't hear it unless you change this back to your normal headphones or speakers or whatever you use. Another really cool feature is if you click this checkbox, this will actually make the device selection permanent, so every time you open up Spotify, it will always be on line 1 or whichever device that you have selected. So make sure that you click on the device that you want, aka line 1, hit apply, and that is pretty much that set up. So it's very easy, very cool little plugin for Spotify indeed. So what I'm going to do now is click play, turn it down a wee bit, and as you can see, if I mute my mic here,
microphone muted,
music bot is playing it only through the server. I'm just going to actually unmute my mic because there's some horrible beeping sounds, but you can see that it's perfectly working, very great. And if I go ahead and just leave,
disconnected,
you can hear that there are no music, so you know that it's working. And when you get the blue bubble that's lighting up, you know for sure that there is music or audio coming out of that. So if I go ahead and join back myself,
connected.
So we have Spotify playing all of our music, and it's really clear. Obviously you can change and make a playlist or whatever you want to do on Spotify, that is your choice. So that's Spotify done, pretty simple there. I'm going to go ahead and exit it, and as you can see, the light has now gone back to the muted circle. I'm going to now show you in Windows Media Player, because this is built into Windows and a lot of people still use this. You can play obviously any music of your choice through this. I'm just going to use another copyrighted song. I'm going to go ahead and open this song in Windows Media Player. As you can see, I've already done that. Right click, and then we're going to go to more options. Once in here, we're going to go to devices, speakers, and click properties. Now obviously you want to change this to line 1 virtual audio cable once again, because we want everything going through line 1 so that it goes through the server and you don't hear it back twice, otherwise that would just be a nuisance. So make sure that the selected audio device is line 1, and make sure you click apply OK again, and if we click play, as you can see, we have music in our Teamspeak server once again. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit. Perfectly fine. The audio quality is very good. Very easy to set up in Windows Media Player. And lastly, I'm going to show you VLC Player, because I think it's a lot better. VLC Player has a lot more features. You can adjust the audio. It's just a better media player in my choice. I like to use VLC Player for movies and stuff like that. Very easy to do. Once you've opened your song or your playlist or whatever you've opened, go to audio device, and again, just choose a line 1 virtual audio cable. Very simple. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead, click play. Again, I'm going to turn this down because it's very loud, and you can see music bot is picking that up perfectly fine. If the music doesn't sound too great, you can obviously change the codec to Opus Voice or whatever you want. Mess around with the settings, personal preference. As I said, this works very well. I'm going to exit this so the music's not playing constantly in the background. But there you go, guys. Very easy to do. There's your own music bot, DJ bot, whatever you want to call it. I thought I'd share with you guys. I hope I've helped you in a way. Comment, rate, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.